The conceptual framework is a body of interrelated objectives and fundamentals for accounting. It describes the objective of financial reporting and some concepts that support that objective. It also provides guidance as to when transactions, events, and circumstances should be accounted for, how they should be measured, recognized, and displayed in financial statements.
Conceptual framework is just a common set of terms, certain premises that the board just understands when they go into setting standards. If you're setting standards for what kind of information is useful, you have to know who is it useful to. If you have an objective, when you sit down to write the standards, you need to know what that objective is. It's just that common starting point.
It's intended to be used as a discipline on their decision-making at all times, but there are cost-benefit considerations, for example, and some other considerations that enter into standards-level decisions. But they use it as intended almost all the time, and that is to put some discipline around the basic structure of accounting. It allows them to have a consistent method of analysis.
The conceptual framework is really a roadmap that we follow when we're setting accounting standards. In the absence of a conceptual framework, we may think we're all on the same page, but we may well not all be on the same page. So it's very important for the board from that perspective. I think it's really important as well for us in communicating with constituents that when we take on a new project, the conceptual framework helps constituents to understand the direction that we're driving and how we're going to get there.
Previous standard-setting bodies have tried to set accounting standards without the use of a conceptual framework, and what they found is that they got to a point where they were just choosing problems to go after and coming up with solutions that were more compromises rather than, comprehensive, coherent, and consistent type solutions.
The board currently has 3 phases of the conceptual framework project on its agenda. One phase is presentation, which the board issued an exposure draft discussing some presentation concepts for recognized items in August of 2016. They hope to pick up redeliberations in that project sometime in the second half of the year. The board also has a project on measurement, which it's working towards an exposure draft. And they also have a project related to concepts for disclosures, which they're working towards a final concept standard. Sometime in the near future, the board's going to be considering a project to reconsider the definitions of elements in the financial statements, and we should be talking about that sometime soon.
I don't believe the conceptual framework actually will ever be done, because it needs to be responsive to changes in business and reporting environment. There's going to be some things to do, and probably the most important after the 3 that are actively being worked on now would be, we don't need new definitions of assets, liabilities, we just need some clarifications.